Alrighty, guys. Performance and wellness here again with another with my guest. We're in the lab right now. We're in the lab. We have another conversation with an Olympic weightlifter, not a bodybuilder, Olympic weightlifter. So there's a difference. So welcome my guest Ali. He's been on the show before. He was here a while back, and a lot of people were interested in what he had to say. So we brought him back for another interesting conversation about Olympic weightlifting and how difficult it is and more strenuous than just what bodybuilding.
Than anything.
Yeah, because you use a full body.
Full body, full range of motion.
Everything. So bodybuilding, you do one contraction, you work the bicep, that's what you're doing here, boom, boom, boom. But he has to work bicep, tricep, back, shoulder, the whole anatomy. And it has on a technical aspect with a lot of heavy weight. So, welcome my guest, Ali. We're in the lab. So, you got it?
Yeah, thank you for the introduction. As Eugene said, my name is Ali. I go as the Ali on Instagram. And I am a weightlifter, the sport of weightlifting called Olympic weightlifting, because it's the only barbell sport in the Olympics for now, right? We don't know if we're going to get kicked out. Or
Why is that?
Because of politics, really.
Really?
Yeah, so weightlifting is an international sport, right? Like powerlifting, you don't really have nations competing.
No, you don't.
In weightlifting, you have like the country of Uzbekistan or Turkey, Germany going against the US. So when you have that sport on an international level, it falls under the International Olympic Committee.
Okay.
And they're the ones with the money.
Oh, you want to pay in for that? It's like a non-profit organization?
Yeah. So it's an organization and it's a top-down, right?
Okay.
So the organization will give, for example, USA Track and Field some money. It will give like the Iranian weightlifting some money.
It's like that. I didn't know that.
Yeah. So, and the weightlifting federation is called the International Weightlifting Federation. So you have the Olympic Federation, you have the International Weightlifting Federation. So they give their money down, and then the International Weightlifting Federation splits their money into different countries.
Okay.
So for the US, like we have a giant economy. Right? The money that we get from the International Weightlifting Federation isn't much. But let's say you are a small country like Cameroon in Africa, right? Or let's say a Middle Eastern country that's small like Qatar, and you're getting this huge sum of money for weightlifting, right?
Okay.
So it gives you a chance to like take organization money and put it in your own pocket.
All corruption.
Yeah. Weightlifting is a cheap sport, right? You just said, look, we're in Ali's lab, right?
Yeah.
I'm not a millionaire, I don't have money, but weightlifting is so cheap compared to other sports, anyone can really do it.
But the cost effective behind it, if you get injury is a lot more expensive. Shoulder rotation out of play, because when the barbell of your head rotation, bicep, tricep, you have your injuries cost more than
well compared to like baseball.
Okay.
You want to have baseball, first you need a baseball stadium.
Okay.
You need a field. The field needs to have maintenance, right? Then you need to have stands. You need a giant facility. Weightlifting, this is all you need.
Yeah.
You need a platform, a barbell, and some weights.
Yeah. And the drive to go ahead and do the work.
And here's the key difference. You want to be good at baseball, you need to go practice with better baseball players.
Okay.
You want to be good at weightlifting, you can do it on your own. Right? You don't need no one else, right? You don't need a special league, right? Because look, there's videos on the internet of these African guys, right, with busted barbells and some.
Oh yeah, they throwing stuff together
and
cement.
They have good technique and they're lifting some good stuff. They're doing weightlifting and they go internationally and compete in the top.
Okay.
Like with American football or baseball, you can't do that. You're gonna need.
You need a team. Yeah, but you can practice. You can practice the skill set, the technique of. Football or football marathon?
Both.
Okay, you practice your technique,
Sure, yeah. You can get better on your own, right?
Okay.
But when you want to talk about world level, that becomes a little bit different. So at the world level, weightlifting is easier, right?
I got you.
At the world level, team sports become harder and harder.
I got you. Okay. Well, I can understand it. You're correct because because you're working with just you and you are against you.
Yeah, the team is small. It's just you and the coach, and you have a one-time payment. You get your platform, get you some weightlifting shoes, barbell, and some weights, and that'll last you 10 years.
So and that's why a lot of countries pay their weightlifters a salary just to be a weightlifter. Because like I said, bodybuilding in certain countries, they get paid. And right now, there's a guy from Iran or Turkey.
Iran has one. Hadi Chupan, I think is his name.
Oh, I'm talking the Olympic weightlifter.
Oh, there's well.
You said big dude.
He's from Georgia.
Jordan?
Georgia is a Middle Eastern country. Let's say East European Middle East.
Georgia or Jordan?
Georgia.
Oh, you know they had a country. Oh,
Yeah.
I mean, a little bit.
Well, they're like, see, goes back to the point. Small countries that are like, let's say, not significant on the international stage are so darn good at weightlifting.
Because that's all they have. They got to put their country on the map.
Yeah, and you know, the money and weightlifting thing is kind of like a paradox. Because in individual sports, it's a little bit different. Can I explain that?
Yeah, okay.
So there was a shot put and discus throwers. Germany was like ruling the world for like the last shot put, javelin, discus, and these are like individual sports, kind of like weightlifting, where the athlete just performs a single movement and gets rated on the objective. You know, you get a number.
Distance and everything else.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Germany decided to sponsor these athletes. So what they did is they helped you go to a school that's an academy where you can train. And then when you graduate, they'll help you get a job in the military, the Air Force, right? Or like you can be a first responder or a fireman. So you have the secure job, and now you can focus on your sport and get better.
Wow.
And guess what happened? The athletes got worse. They stopped dominating the world. And they were trying to figure out why. It's like, we just gave you more money and gave you all this opportunity. And here's what the Germans said happened. When you had an athlete and you gave him the safety net of a comfortable job, they didn't have to try to be a good athlete.
I got you. That's right anymore. Okay.
And so a lot of these small countries, that's what they do, right? Like Georgia, Georgia can't like fund weightlifting like USA does. We have weightlifting events, right? But they're like huge compared to like international things because we have so many weightlifters.
Okay.
So in those countries, you become an employee.
Of the federation.
Of the government, right? They control you and say, you're going to go here, and that's just how small countries work. Now, in the US, on the other hand, and us being here is a perfect example, because I have to buy my own barbells, I'm using my own garage, I buy my own weights, and I have a job on the side, right? So I'm not sponsored by anyone, and I'm still trying just as hard. Now, because weightlifting is not a job to me. Someone in Germany who gets sponsored, weightlifting becomes like their job.
Yeah, they have to get paid to do that.
So when I'm doing it, it's a different, like I am doing it because I truly love
doing it. I'm
spending my own money, I'm spending my own time, you know, time away from friends, family. I could be drinking at night, you know, but I decide to sacrifice of weightlifting. So that's how you know I'm a true weightlifter.
Okay.
So when you're in this different country and you're getting sponsored, comes a question like, is he really love weightlifting?
Or he's just doing it for the pay?
Or is he just for the pay, the security, or now he's in the system and he can't get out because he can't get another job, right?
I got you.
So that's why American athletes are so good at the world level, right? Because we are doing it because
you love doing it, you want to do it. Yeah. Other than that, they're doing it. It's like the movie Rocky.
Yeah.
When the slot, what's the guy name?
The Russian guy.
Yeah. But he was owned by the state. Is it Germany or Russia? Russia, and he was paid to do this, and all he did every single day was box, and drugs, box, and when he lost to Rocky, when he beat Rocky, he was glorified, but when he lost to Rocky, it was hell to pay.
Yeah.
It was because he's like, what's going on here? But it was the same scenario, right?
You know, the World Cup, something funny just happened. Saudi Arabia beat Argentina in the World Cup that's going on right now. And every Saudi Arabian soccer player got a Rolls Royce as a car.
What?
Right? And then everyone's like, wow. And you know what I said? I was like, just wait till they lose a game they're supposed to.
They lose the car.
Yeah, they lose the car. Right? But yeah, the car's gonna be lazarus problem. You're gonna lose more than the car, right? So you're right. It's a double-edged sword. You get funded and it's all great, but then when you lose, it's like, oh man.
They all got Rolls Royces.
They all got Rolls Royces. Yeah. It's all the money we're talking about.
Yeah,
right?
the Saudi. Is that Dubai?
The Saudi, well, they're all the Emiratis, right? They're considered this a tribe. So there's like this they're all in the Arabian Peninsula, and they have like their small.
Okay, like the states.
Yeah, they're kingdoms, right?
Like
Like the Prince of Saudi Arabia, you have Qatar that's owned by another family, so they're owned by different kingdoms.
Oh, okay. Wow. So everybody got their own little, they all got their own little stake in the country, and they all got their name on the top of it.
Yeah, it's mostly oil based.
Oh yeah.
Because like Saudi Arabia is a desert, like there ain't gonna be no farming, you're not gonna do any manufacturing.
There's so much money out there, it's ridiculous.
Yeah,
Everybody just
they're trying to get it, man.
And no tax out there either. No tax out there.
They decide how if you own the land, you decide how you get taxed. It's like a feudal system, right?
Yeah.
The prince and the king of Saudi.
So he wants everybody to eat. So everybody eats, everybody good, everybody respectful, and keep it going.
Hey, look, they're doing pretty darn good. You know, they've been keeping up. You know, some countries grow and some others don't. But they've been growing as good as anyone else.
Yeah.
I don't think the people can complain. You know?
No, why they complaining for it? They go living well out there.
Yeah, the Rolls Royce.
And people leave and go over there just to live over there.
Yeah, I know, because they have different tax laws. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, some of the people I follow financially, they're always hanging out in the Saudi, Dubai, talking about, hey, do this with your money.
You put you over there on that tax shelter situation. Get out of here. Tell me something you hear in America and you dealing with what we got here. Yeah, then we got something to talk about. Okay, but that's not bad. So now I understand about the politics when it comes to weightlifting. So it gets more because here there's a lot going on here as far as powerlifting movements, deadlifting stuff, and their bench pressing and whatever. It is governed, but it's not like Olympic weightlifting.
It doesn't have the juicy drama behind it.
No, it doesn't.
It's less. It's more like personal stuff.
Yeah, personal.
It becomes like boxing. This guy against that guy.
Okay.
But there's no like government behind it.
Oh yeah, so the conspiracy behind it. Who got doped up really good?
Yeah. Oh man, that's part of it.
The Chinese do really well too.
Man,
they statue of guys. Their legs are freaking just.
So China has this famous weightlifter. His name is Liu Jiajun, and he tried to retire, and they made him come back. Right?
Oh.
Yeah, they made him come back, and this guy was like, he was snatching from the floor to overhead twice his body weight, right? Which is elite, world, like historic. And so he tried to retire and go his own way. And they called him and said, apparently, like, hey, come back, because he's a popular figure. Right? It's almost like he can't retire because people wanted it. And when he came back, he was so weak, right? He was weaker than me. He was weaker than everyone else. But he was showing his progress. And people were following him and making fun of him. Like, oh, look at me, I'm stronger than him now, right? They were like playing games. And in 8 weeks, this guy went from being barely able to lift his own body weight off the ground to doing like twice his body weight.
Wow. So twice your body weight gotta be at least, what's about 400 or 500 pounds?
Yeah, 400 pounds, right? Wow. And he's coming back like no other. So you want to talk about like quality drug use and like quality state-sponsored strength training program? It's not gonna get better than the Chinese, right? But it has its downside. When you want to retire, they call you and say, hey, it's not time to retire.
So let's talk about drug use.
Yeah.
I want everybody to understand here. There's drug use in most of all sports when it comes to being competitive because your body can only be pushed to a certain extent, no matter what they say.
That's true.
Period.
Yep.
Drug-wise, now you can eat clean. There's a whistle. I mean,
there's just a limit.
There's a limit that your body can go to. Your body needs extra to keep the party going. Now, how much you take is what is just it's up to you. And you can abuse it, or you can do it within, reason and still work hard. And some people are blessed with genetics. Like personally, I'm built with good genetics, so I don't have to really do nothing. But I've took supplements before. I've took steroids before, and I know what it is. That's many back in 2003. Last time I did anything.
So it was 20 years ago.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, a long time ago. But my body stayed the same, so this is my foundation.
You're keeping it.
Yeah, it's mine.
Exactly. You're not melting away.
No, because some people take supplements. I'm getting to my point, but some people take supplements when they haven't developed a body or technique or a structure to build off of to climb for a point. Because once you get off the gear, you like this. You like boom, 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 boom. Everything kind of
falls right back down.
It goes back to where you were. So say all of that, the gear doesn't make you a badass. It's the work ethic that you put into. Like I said, because I watch your videos, you do a lot of repetition, and it's like you can never get good. You always get to the point when you level off at zero, then you gotta exceed past that. So gear doesn't make you the best and greatest, no matter what country you in, how much gear you're taking. You still have to have a work ethic. What do you agree about?
Yeah, and it's also dependent on the sport too.
Okay.
You know, like if you want to do bodybuilding, gear can help you.
Yeah.
If you do powerlifting, gear can help you. Now, if you want to be the world best at ping pong, right? It's like you can give me all the gear you want. It's not gonna make me better. Ping pong,
Okay.
Right. So it just depends on the sport.
But ping pong is technique.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. So baseball, right? It's also technique, but they use the gear to do repetition,
Okay.
right? To recover and do more reps.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how people use gear in weightlifting too.
Okay.
It's not necessarily to get bigger and stronger. You take the gear so you can get more reps, so you can get better technique.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it speeds up the recovery
Yeah.
and the movement. But see, people use gear in bodybuilding to build tissue, to build muscle, and to help the muscle be able to recover fast and keep going. But in actuality, it does that. But when you overdo it, it causes this
Your ligaments,
ligament tendons.
Yeah, they get soft.
Yeah, they get soft and the muscles grow faster. And then also, I see you doing TRT. That's something that you're doing for maintenance, but you only gonna get back to what your levels are normal. But then you have to do something on top of that to get to the next level. And also too, at what cost?
Right. Yeah.
You're looking at, and then like I said, these other countries are forcing you to take your vitamin D, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, and so you make a good point about how gear doesn't make you a better athlete.
No, it doesn't.
Because you can have two people given the same stuff, and let's say they both improve, but one will become way better, and the other one will just become 5% better, and you ask yourself like, did you really need gear to become 5% better? You know?
Why'd you do that?
Yeah, and in the human body, like people don't understand how much they're capable of because they never even tried.
It's all in the mind,
right? Yeah. And for me, for example, I've been lifting hardcore since 2016, 2017.
Okay.
So that's 7 years almost.
That's a long time, yeah.
And I have youngsters who've been lifting for 6 months, messaging me asking me for gear, like what kind of gear you take.
Yeah.
And I was like, it's like you're 6 months into it. Like you haven't even got to the point where you can like make gains off your diet. You know?
Yeah.
Like, you haven't even done the sport.
No.
So you make a good point when they're like, they haven't even tried and they're trying to get on gear. It's just sad, you know?
Yeah. And I give another example. When I started bodybuilding, I was natural. I didn't want to do gear for it. I'm figuring things out. So I never did any drugs for like a long time. And the only time I started doing anything, that's when I was trying to go to like nationals. Novice, no drugs. Your body just come along, it's still finding itself.
Yeah.
You know, you got open. What you need drugs for doing the open? What you need drugs doing the open bodybuilding shows? You know, that don't make any sense. Now, you're getting like a national level, you have an opportunity to go to that pro card and do your own thing. You know, I can see stepping up a notch because, you know, you're going against people that are not playing fair, and there's nothing wrong with it. It's just what it is.
Yeah, that's just
It's just a sport. It's what it's called for. You gotta take supplements. You gotta take steroids, no matter what you think. Now, if you're natural, you don't go so far in the sport and you stop here. But you start taking steroids, you try to jump into a whole different arena like a freak monster. And I say that everybody, because you take steroids, doesn't make you jack. There's a lot of people take drugs that look like they done anything. Yeah. And they bumped up and just why you bigger than me? And guess what? I just say you did to your example, and that goes back to Olympic weightlifting as well. Because you do gear, like you said, doesn't make you a better athlete. It just makes you just took drugs. You still working your technique.
Man, Eugene, look. When you say you just took drugs,
yeah.
Right? Some of these youngsters come to me and they say, "Hey, I started taking the stack, right?
Uh-huh.
And I don't know anything about the stack, right?
Okay.
So just tell me the stuff." And I was like, "Okay, so how many days of the week are you lifting?" He's like, "Oh, I lift 4 times a week." And it's like you're running a stack to lift 4 times a week, right?
Yeah.
Like if you're gonna if you want to do a stack, you should be lifting in the morning, in the afternoon,
Yeah.
right? And squat in the morning, front squat in the afternoon.
Yeah.
Snatch in the morning, clean jerk in the, and that's when you make the stack work.
Yeah.
Right? It's like if you want to do like regular human things, like why even risking your health and doing all that stuff?
Yeah.
So that's also another thing that people don't understand is if you want to run gear, especially in like sports performance kind of stuff, like you gotta be at like the
you gotta take advantage of that.
right?
Take advantage of that situation.
Yeah. So it's just crazy. People taking the stack, going to the gym 4 times a week. It's like anyone can recover from that, you know. Just eat some rice, steak, and broccoli, just to live for like 4 times a week. That's ridiculous to me, you know.
And then also too. So what is your eating regimen like? 'Cause I know if you snatch it, I think you snatched it like 350 for one of them. Like last time I seen you, I think you were doing. Last time I seen you doing like 3 something, didn't you? Three and a half plates, almost 4 plates.
For the clean and jerk, I'm pushing to get to 4 plates.
Okay.
And for snatch, I'm close to about 300. Trying to get to 3 plates.
I thought you were there already. Remember last time I seen you, I thought you were there already.
Well, see, in weightlifting, the equipment is different, right? So when you're looking at the plates, first of all, they're in kilograms. You don't know how heavy they are, and you got to drop them so it looks thicker. So like a 25 looks like a 45.
Okay.
But it just looks heavier.
Oh, okay, because of the mechanics and the body what's put into the movement.
Yeah, and it's bumper plates, right? So you have to drop them, so they can't be like these thin metal 45s, right? Because like with the thin metal 45s, you know exactly what this guy's lifting.
I got you.
45, 35.
I got you.
So in this sport, all the plates are the same diameter. You have to hit the ground at the same time, right? So you never know, like, is you lifting 350 or 300, right? Or is it like 270?
I got you. Okay. Because I know. So how is your diet looking with this? Tell you what. Walk us through your diet on a regular basis, good or bad, what you know, how you eat on a regular basis to kind of withstand, do these movements.
Did you know I'm the kebab king. You know, that's like my thing.
Okay, I love kebabs.
Kebab, yeah. That's like I run a meat page and it's called Kebab and Kilos.
Oh, really? Yeah. Okay.
And kebab is like a joke. Like it could be like steroids. You know? Like, hey, well, have you had your kebab today, right? Or it could be like a sexual innuendo. Right? Like all these girls want my kebab now that I got them lifted. Right?
Okay.
So it's like it opens it up to be a lot of jokes. But
kebab king.
I personally have very close Persian diet.
Okay.
Right? And when I say Persian diet, it's mostly rice, right? It's white rice, and there's like a vegetable stew on the side. And the meat that I eat is, I eat kebab quite often, right?
Really?
So it consists of, chicken. I eat a lot of lamb, more than most Americans probably do, right?
But isn't lamb high in fat or is less in fat?
Yeah, it's high in fat.
Okay.
But that's what you need to make kebab, because the meat has to stick on the metal skewer. So if it's lean, it just falls right off. So it has to be nice and fatty. So you put lamb meat on it. Right?
I see the video you did a kebab.
Yeah.
Okay, you in the backyard.
Yeah, it was right over here.
Okay.
My brother was doing it.
Oh, your brother. Okay.
And here's the thing with kebab is when the fat melts off.
Okay.
So you're not really eating the fat. You're using the fat as a flavor and as like a medium to like hold the meat together. And when you're rotating it, the fat falls off.
So the fat you're talking about is gone.
Yeah, it's a lot leaner than when it starts off.
Okay, I got you.
And so back to the diet thing. It depends on what stage I am in lifting. If we're doing a high volume, because in bodybuilding, usually people try to get bigger, right? They either bulking or cutting, right? They're bulking to add on muscle, or they're cutting to just get leaner. In weightlifting, your body, like your height and your arm lengths, they lend themselves to an ideal weight class.
Okay.
Right? And so you always want to be in that weight class because that's the ideal for you. Now, you have to get stronger without getting too heavy, right? And you have to be able to cut without reducing your performance.
So, but it affects your strength, does it?
It does, but that's what I'm saying. So you have like your margins are very small. Because if you cut too much weight, your performance drops, and we weigh in 2 hours before the meet.
So you got to be on your diet then.
You have to be on your diet, and that's why I say it depends on the volume, right?
Okay.
So and I'm not very strict with my diet, really, but it happens naturally. So as the volume goes up you have to eat more to keep up with it, to keep from losing weight, right?
So you use the carbs, the rice as your energy, or do you minimize your carbs and then increase your protein, which is your kebabs?
Yeah. So I before my training, I try to. So the first thing I do in the morning is I try to eat high fat, high protein.
Okay, high fat.
So I wake up and I try to eat some eggs and sausage.
Okay.
Right. Eggs and bacon.
What kind of sausage? Like regular sausage or just turkey sausage with a chicken sausage?
Turkey, chicken.
Okay.
You know, it's like a poultry.
Okay.
With the egg. So I get my cholesterols and I get my protein in. So my body has time to digest the protein throughout the day.
Okay.
And before I start lifting, I need carbs. And so you can be like mentally fatigued or you're cutting weight, because you get that brain fog when you're cutting, and you can still go through the motions in bodybuilding. Now in weightlifting, when you're trying to hit a snatch, like you need to be there, right? And if you're trying to cut weight and your brain has the lack of carb and has the fog, your technique is not going to work. You're not going to be able to respond.
Okay.
And a lot of times you just get dizzy getting up.
So you might not fire.
So you have to have carbs before you lift.
Okay.
So I get my proteins and fats in the morning, a big dose, and I have my carbs throughout the day, right before I start lifting. And as soon as I'm done lifting, I hit the kebab games.
Okay. Yeah. So the kebabs are your recovery, all the engines going forward.
Yep.
We getting everything in. We getting our protein. We getting our fats in.
Yep.
And that's our deal. Wow. So how many carbs you do?
Carbs?
What 300? What 30 grams, 40 grams, 100 grams, 300 grams per day? For. So, let me ask you a question. Did you digest your carbs properly? Well, because you don't pick up weight, you stay pretty lean.
Yeah.
So you eat this right? Yeah, because your abs are actually visible.
I have abs 24/7 all year long.
And you eat a lot of carbs.
I wouldn't say a lot. I just timed them.
Okay. Oh, okay. You time it to where you.
Yeah.
So the carbs you're taking in, it has a job to do.
Right.
And the protein that you take, the kebab you take in, has his job to do.
Yeah. So the timing is the more important.
Well, that's good then, because most people that's kind of difficult to time out, does it? Can structure. Well, you've been doing it for so long, it's
for me
second nature.
For me, it's second nature.
But for somebody else, that's like that'd be difficult for me.
And it took a while to get there. But I will say, if you work from home, right, or if you're self-employed, it's a lot easier to do, because. Like, let's say you're a guy that has a job in a machine shop.
You can't do that.
Their lunch break is at, the machines have to run. Lunch break is at noon, right? And then like, you're gonna leave and go get. It's hard to do, right?
I guess okay.
Or you gotta like meal prep for yourself. I guess you could do that, but since I work from home, it's easy for me.
Okay, I guess. Okay, so that's why you're in a unique situation that you pace yourself what direction you want to go.
Yeah. And timing, I would say, is the most important aspect of my diet. Right? Because it's all performance based.
So you take in maybe 50% carbs, 60%?
Yeah, most of my carbs, 60 to 70% of the carbs I eat before I start lifting. Not right before, but
and that's like rice.
Yeah, it's mostly rice, tortillas. Right?
Really?
I'm allergic to wheat.
Okay.
Not that I'm like deathly allergic, but I can't like wake up, eat pancakes, right? And then for lunch have like a pizza, and then for dinner have pasta.
What about Mediterranean? Those pita breads, you eat those too?
Yeah.
So those are your carbs type of deal.
Yeah, when I eat, I use the pita bread.
What about and then your fats are from the meat or from like avocados or I'm trying to figure out what other fats.
So I prefer to eat avocado oil and olive oil as my fats. So rice, believe it or not, rice can help you get a lot of fat because you can pour the fat, pour the fat on rice and it absorbs it, and it tastes good. So I usually melt butter and put it on the rice, avocado oil, olive oil. Those
really?
are my go-to, yeah.
Okay, you know what? I put a bone marrow in my my fat.
Put some broth.
Yeah. No. I actually cook the bone. The marrow out of it, and what I do is I put mine in the refrigerator, and what I do is I mix in a lot of garlic. I love garlic. I eat garlic until like I'm a vampire. I mix garlic and my bone marrow together, and what I do if I'm cooking like rice on there, I'll cut a piece of it out and I mix it in with my rice. And so as the rice heats up, it's mixed in with my rice.
Right.
So I'm eating.
That's good. You know, that's like a Mediterranean, Middle Eastern style.
Really didn't know that.
Because a lot of times we boil our meat,
Uh-huh.
right? And then you just take like a lamb shank. That's like one of the dishes, right? And you have like the shank and you put it in there, and you eat the bone marrow too, right?
Yeah.
So organ meats and like bone marrow stuff, that's like really healthy.
Yeah, it is.
I try to keep, and you know, we live in an industrialized food system. That's what we have. So the organ meats and the bone, that stuff gets like ground out and becomes dog food, right? Or they put it somewhere else. We don't really get that. We just get this nice steak, but it doesn't have all the nutrients.
No.
Right? So I try to do that as well. And you know, if in like the Persian culture and the Persian diet, it's a lot easier to eat those things because that's like part of it, right? Like a standard American diet, you have to like get out of your way to get some bone broth. Like you gotta get out of your way to get some bone marrow, eat some kidney or something. You know.
Yeah, no, because I go buy mine from the store, and one time I bought like 11 bags of bone marrow. I mean, seriously, like 11 bags of this, and I put it in my freezer. So I pull a bag out, put it in the oven, cook it, and then I was boiling my bones too. I would boil them and make a big old giant pot of marrow. I put onions and garlic, cook it up real good, and I let it cool, and then I take the fat level off of it. Right. I remove that, and I save it for cooking. But then the broth itself, I pour it in like a container, and I just
sipping on it.
Just sip. I drink on it for like at nighttime.
That's like a perfect food for after you get done cutting.
Cutting exercise, really?
Well, because in weightlifting, you weigh in 2 hours before your competition, so you can't really. You can try to cut fat, but like on the day you're cutting water, right?
Oh.
So you want to be able to get nutrients in, right?
Yeah.
But you can't have like a juicy steak because you're about to start lifting, right?
Okay.
And you can't just drink water.
No.
Right? Just dilute it.
You dilute it, yeah.
So bone broth, right?
Wow,
it's
I didn't think about that.
It's a perfect. It's got put some salt in it.
Yeah.
And it's got some flavor.
Yeah.
Right. And guess what? It's got the proteins that you need.
You're right. I didn't think about that.
So bone broth is a perfect recovery tool for after cutting weight for performance sports.
Wow. Okay.
So if I could give a tip to like weightlifters and powerlifters, anyone who wants to perform right after the cut, is bone broth. Right?
Yeah.
Some kind of pho or some kind of bone broth stew.
Yeah, bone broth. Yeah, because they sell
the packs and whatnot.
Yeah, they sell. I like. They said that collagen is good. I like collagen, but just take it real. Like somebody that had a child, that fell over and died. You know, one of those things. Yeah. That's real broth. Because they got fish, but they got chicken, other options as well. But I like the bone because it looks. You know, instead of searing the bone, you bake it for like 15 minutes. I put like a little oil on top. I season my stuff. Boom, I cook about 15, 20 minutes.
Sounds delicious.
Oh man, I just get out. Boom. It looks yucky, but it has purposes for your body and help for recovery. It has a lot of stuff, heart, cholesterol, the whole nine.
Well, you know, Liver King.
Yeah.
You know how he got exposed for running like a serious stack of steroids?
What happened?
Man, so you know, Liver King is. He's selling a product. He's selling his supplements, and people have always asked him like, "Are you natural?" He tries to avoid it, right? But he's claimed that he was natural, right? And I mean, his skin is red. You know, he's running a serious stack.
Yeah,
and guess what? His email got leaked. He was consulting with someone else about, "Hey, I'm running this gear. Can you advise me on how much more to take, less to take, optimize it for me?" And that email got leaked. So now everyone is like dogging on him.
Yeah, we all knew he was.
Well, see, I'm torn on this, right? Because a part of me says the Liver King has done more for public health than like public health officials, right? He's got the people off the couch, right? He got them thinking like, "Hey, I need to consume organ meat," right? Got them to be healthier. Now and then maybe people thought they were gonna look like him. Right? There's no way.
Right? There's no way.
You're gonna look like the best version of yourself, but you're not gonna look like him. So I'm kind of torn about it. And see, someone experienced like me and you who are like in the industry, like we see someone like him, like we know exactly.
Yeah, we know. But I'm gonna tell you something. Americans, I'm gonna tell you, black folks, colored folks, we ate organ meat all the time. Liver, kidneys, all this stuff that Liver King talks about. We would eat that stuff back then.
Right.
I ate it when I was younger. But now society is different. They don't eat that kind of stuff. They eat expensive food.
Right, yeah.
Or high society food type of deal. And they forgot about...
It's just empty.
empty calories, empty calories, whatever you call it. But with him, yeah, he did make a difference. He did present an ideal of way of consuming protein or consuming what's called unorthodox type of food that people not normally eat on a regular basis. So he has, I don't think he done anything wrong. I think people should mind their own business. And yeah, mind your own business. Let it be. If he does, he does. If he tell you no, that means none of your business. And that's my opinion. If you ask me about your gear, what's I'm gonna tell you? No. That means what that means.
That means it's none of your business.
It's none of your business. Yeah, it's called get you some business. Yeah, get out of mine. That's all it means.
And you know, he apologized.
What he apologized for?
Well, apologized for potentially misleading people.
Man, I don't care, man. Man, we mislead every single day you get up. You go to work, you get up to work, you misled.
Yeah, you go to work, you stop at that red light, that was misleading. Like half of the laws are misleading.
Yeah.
It's a rigged system, man.
Yeah, when you go get a job, you're misled because guess what? They actually do more than you sign up for.
Man, you're not lying about that.
Then they threaten to fire you. Can't. Oh well, you don't feel like doing it, huh? Well, you know what? We didn't hire 2 more people to help you with your job. What you do about that?
Exactly.
Yeah. So everything is misleading. Who cares?
Yeah, and like I said, I honestly don't care. You know,
man, everybody is going to talk about that man.
But the thing is, I don't speak to make money.
Yeah.
Right? There's a lot of people who like run their mouth on the internet to make money, right? So they're not gonna let an opportunity to kick someone down, right, and get some more views.
You know why, don't you? Those people got low self-esteem. They have no value within themselves, no humility.
Yeah.
Am I right or wrong?
No, you're 100% right. I can definitely see
they have no humility. Anybody that goes after anything, it's like a boxer. Most boxers have respect for each other. If I hit you one good time, and we're boxing the whole time, I get you one time, you might struggle, you know I'm done. You know I'm done. Why do you run after me and beat the hell out of me? And the polar, what's that gonna solve?
Well, you know, because they can get smacked in the mouth the opposite way.
Yeah,
right? Like
that's true.
If your counterpart got you good, right, would you want him to like knock you out and finish you good for 6 months?
No, that's not good. That's terrible.
And you're right. There's sometimes people do run their mouth because they're not scared of like the consequences. You know, it's almost like they can do it and get away with it, so they just yap on it.
You know what happens at the end? It's another little word called karma.
Karma's gonna come back around.
Oh yeah, karma get you. Karma's gonna get you. Yeah. People don't understand there's repercussions of everything we got going on, no matter what it is. It's what it is.
That's just how the world works.
Yeah, trust me, I understand, but people don't care. So any means is necessary. So, but you know, either there, but it's what it is. With Liver King, he done anything wrong. It's what it is.
And you know, I used to play team sports.
Okay.
Right.
You played football, didn't you? What was that? We played.
I played college soccer and I did rugby.
Okay. Oh, it was a rugby. Okay, I got it. Was yeah.
And lately I did like track and field, which is like an individual. I mean, it's not a track team, but it's an individual sport. And now I do exclusively weightlifting. When you talked about self-esteem, I do think that individual sports and like team sports, they have elements that are different from each other, but I do think individual sports can bring more the masculine discipline out of young men.
Okay, individual sports. Okay, so it's like you being the only person.
Yeah, not that they're the only one. Not that saying that team sports can't discipline you and bring your masculine discipline out. But individual sports can just do it a little bit better from my perspective. Okay. Because at the end of the day, we men, right? Like that's why the Liver King was so famous, because he's talking about the instinct that's deep within us, right? Like me and you 2,000 years ago, we would be like hunting for food. Yeah. We would be killing animals, right? And we would be hunted also. Oh yeah. While me and you are butt naked out in the woods trying to get this deer, there's a bear trying to get us. Right? It's still good around here. So as a human, you are the hunter and you are the hunted, right? You hunter or hunted? Both. Okay. Both. You're the hunter and you're a hunter. Okay. And now see that like the archetype, the typical story of the young man, right? That exists in history. And here's how it usually, like Buddha had it, right? The Europeans used the white knight that kills the dragon. So what happens is you're a young man and you have nothing to you but potential. And guess what? No one cares. Right? And you're struggling and you have like emotional trauma from the past and you just can't seem to find success in life. And here's what you do. You leave the castle. You leave your father's home. That's why one of the insults that you give to young men is like, you live in your mom's basement, right? And you give them that insult, not because they're in your mom's basement, there's inherently anything wrong with it, but because you're saying you haven't decided to leave the safety of the castle. Right? And what you do is you leave the safety of the castle, and guess what? You do the hardest thing possible. You kill the dragon, right? The dragon that has everyone scared. Everyone in the castle is scared of the dragon, and you kill it. And guess what the dragon does? He holds gold. The dragon is holding gold. It hoards gold. So, which tells you the most reward in life that you can get is always shadowed by the biggest danger that exists.
Oh yeah, I get you.
Right?
Okay.
So more risk, more reward.
More risk, reward. Yeah.
Yeah. So they say mess around and find out, right?
Oh yeah, mess around and find out.
Yeah.
But it goes through lifting too. So the harder you work, and push through your deal, you persevere with good dieting, you kind of
it's the hardest thing, right? And you kill the dragon. Now you throw the gold on your horse, and then you come back home. Come back to the castle, and guess what? Now you're the hero.
Now you're the hero.
And you were trying to get laid. Guess what? You get the princess now.
Oh yeah. Oh, you good to go there. You got a family there.
Yeah. You get the princess now, and that's like the story of the man.
Okay.
That's the story of manhood. So weightlifting and strength sports in general, we men, there is no real dragon, right? There is no war to be fought. We live in the U.S. It's 2022, right? We work from home. So what are we going to do with our masculinity? And if you go to like schools, they don't want the kids to compete.
Oh no, I still know.
They want everyone to be soft.
Yeah.
And you know what boys do? We like to play fight. We like to throw and shoot. Right? We play with guns and all those things because they are harmful. At the extreme end, they are harmful. But we're trying to suppress the masculine urge, right?
Make you weak. Make you a girl. That's why a lot of men out here there.
It becomes, and you know that's a huge challenge.
Yeah.
And I don't want to use the word oppression because I truly believe you can't oppress masculinity. Masculinity is the strongest, most resilient force on the planet.
I think you can.
It will. You can try to. It will leak out.
And guess what? But why does men walk around acting like little girls all the time? It's all they're prima donnas. I'm jumping to a different subject, so they're prima donnas. A bunch of these girls. Oh, I hurt my back. It hurts so bad.
But that's temporary. That's temporary, right? You're doing these to these men, right? And you can, for a short amount of time, for many years, or 1 or 2 generations, you can do that. But the blowback you'll get is going to be. And look, that's why the Liver King is so famous, right?
Well, Liver King is famous because he found an angle that people are now exploiting, and he went after like, hey,
It was the first one.
Yeah, I think he may be because I never heard about it. Like, what the hell is this dude doing? What's wrong with him? But yeah, he come hard with it. The guy's a millionaire, multi-millionaire.
Yeah, and you know his message is like masculine.
Yeah, it's like man.
I don't shower, right? I eat raw meat. Like what's more primal than killing the animal, ripping his liver out, eating that raw meat? That's the most delicious meal you ever have in your life.
Because you would sacrifice, get that meal, you have it, you enjoy it, it's what it is. But men nowadays were like that, man. They're a bunch of...
So, you're right. There are some.
Bunch of girls.
But we don't want to be.
Prima donnas.
Yeah, but we don't want to be, right? Like, they don't want to be that way. We don't want them to be that way. And I think the gym and weightlifting and sports is one way for men to still be masculine and fit in within society.
Like, I'm your favorite weight.
Yeah, because look, what's the alternative? Me and you are gonna have like a boxing match in the front yard.
Yeah.
Or like I'm gonna come shoot you and we're gonna ride each other. Like we're gonna play gangster. That's the alternative, man. Right? That's the goal.
Testosterone. I got it.
So we have
nothing to do.
Yeah, exactly. So we have to, and society doesn't do a good job of giving men that outlet.
Yeah.
So we find it ourselves, right?
It's a different day and time. Now things like you said, people are sanitary now. Nobody's actually back then. I was younger. Labor, you got the shops, factories open. They're laboring. They're picking up things. They're doing farm work. Now, like I said, you work from home.
It's terrible.
Yeah, it's different. I mean, your body's not meant to do what it's constantly doing right now. It's like it just fell into place. A lot of men are just doing. I don't know what they're doing.
It's just modern life.
Yeah, modern life.
And
it's too easy.
And it comes because of money.
Yeah.
Right? Like, if you have a high paying job, I wouldn't mind working at night and sleeping during the day.
Yeah.
Okay? If you have a high paying job, I wouldn't mind like having a little bit worse diet, right? But take a short lunch break and eat some fast food and make more money. But the question comes as like, at what point are you like sacrificing more of your human being?
Yeah.
And not just health, like your human being for the money, right? And because money makes the world go round, there's a lot of pressure for us to like give up who we are for money.
But they're doing is they're making money more valuable than their personal health. And money's just a piece of paper. Like you said, if I've heard $1 bill is whatever value you put on top of it. Yeah, that's what it is. So basically, I'm exchanging this $1 bill because I feel like this $1 bill, this $50 bill, this $10 million bill, this $1 million deal is worth more than my God-given soul, spirit, body, and it's worth more than my family's.
That's a terrible one too. Sacrificing other people. You know,
for money.
President Eisenhower during World War II, the budget was short, and they were asking the president to cut budgets, and he wouldn't cut the budgets for arts and humanities, right? And they say, hey, we're in the middle of war. Why don't you cut the budget for the unimportant stuff? You know what his answer was?
What's that?
He said, why do you think we're in that war to begin with? Because we're trying to protect that stuff.
I got you. Okay, that
and
makes sense.
What's the point of fighting the war? Right?
Yeah.
And the question, what's the point of the job? Right?
Yeah.
If your whole life is just to make money, you're just like a robot.
Yeah. Because I heard. Who said this? What's the comedian? Mike Epps said this. You make money. You stack money to save it to give somebody else. So what are you gonna do with it? If you die tomorrow, you got $5.2 million of money, but you dead. Right. Everybody, it's like vultures. They're gonna eat off your carcass until it's all going. So you make money to spend money. When you hold your money, it cannot recycle itself.
Yeah, you gotta work the money. You have to use the money.
Yeah,
right?
use money. That's what it's for. Not saving, tightening. You have to circulate the money so it keep coming back. The harder you keep it, things gonna keep happening for that money until like you need to release it. You need to release it. I mean, you need to release it, but you hold the money so tight, guess what happens? Your blessings are set back. And that's where you're sacrificing yourself for the love of a piece of paper that has a value that we give it per the number. But guess what? We all want to stay indoors. We all got to do this. But there's other ways to keep the system going.
100% right. And you know, for me, and I think the trend is for like most other men, because we have to work, we have to make money. The gym and weightlifting is an outlet to still be masculine, to be who we are, right? Without sacrificing too much.
I got your freedom and everything else.
Yep.
Okay. Well, but other than that, guys, we had a good conversation. I like where we went. We switched over and what we talked about, the humanity and liberty. Liberty. Yeah. I think people need to leave Liver King alone. I think they need to mind your own business. If you ain't on it, you just mad because you ain't on the stack he was on. You wish you was on the stack that he was on. And you look the way you look. You wish you looked the way you look. A lot of people get that man a freaking hard time, man.
They probably wouldn't even look as good as him.
No, he wouldn't. He chiseled, man. That dude's stomach is like, he got abs on top of abs.
Turtle shell. Right?
Yeah, like a turtle shell. So I think the man's good marketing. I think the man's taking care of business. So I don't knock another person's hustle. And that's what it is. It's too much. It's called envious. Being envious of somebody's situation, just hating. Mind your own business and get you some. That's what I feel. So, Ali, you see, I think you got a show coming up?
Yeah, December 17th, I'm competing for the first time in a while.
When last time you competed?
In the summer.
The summer? Last time you competed? Last summer?
Yeah.
Okay, what you shooting for?
So I'm just trying to come back. You know, I've had I had some setbacks, so I just want to get on the stage and get back into the competing mindset.
Okay.
So early 2023, we're trying to do some solid work.
Okay. Well, I'm excited about because I know last time I seen him, he was going through some stuff, so he's kind of making some progress moving forward. That's like from when I watched the videos, you've been making a lot of good, solid gains in your technique, and I know you and your coach were working tirelessly hard together to kind of bring everything in together and get you all ready to go.
We're this close to some big breakthroughs.
Okay. Hey guys, I met him here first, so I get the first autograph when you get his when you get your trophy. Hey, the money involved?
Not yet.
Oh, okay. Hey, I saw him with you. Yeah, I won $1,000. Yeah, I'm the guy. So, guys, hey, well, stay tuned for more performance and wellness with Ali. So, boom.
Bye, guys.
Okay, guys. Bye.